Alright, so. It has been a. Why did it say quest updated?
Say what you must.
Soldier's Peak. The last time you traveled the open world, you caught a glimpse of a merchant in the distance. He appears to be following you. If you set up a camp, he might be able to catch up with you. Oh yeah, the DLCs. Right.
We'll be off as soon as this mess is cleaned up.
Hello.
Thank you, Carney, for all your assistance.
Hi there. Alright. Gotta check the map, see if I am not missing anything. No, it doesn't look like it. Let's head out. Yeah, we're back in Dragon Age Origins. Yeah. Sorry if you see me a little tired. Oh, cutscene. I really should put up warnings for flashy sequences.
Bad dreams, huh?
Seems so real.
Well, it is real. Sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon, is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me, too.
Any other surprises that you know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
You were a traveling minstrel. You have a tale to share?
Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think.
Oh, never mind.
What do you need?
I'll ask you something.
Ask away.
Can you teach others to be a Templar?
I already said I wouldn't. The answer is still no.
Yes.
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
That's enough for
Then I
now.
suggest we move on.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Actually, never
Very
mind.
well.
Let's go. Let's talk to Morgan. She has anything to say.
What do you wish of me?
I'll let ask you something.
If you must.
How did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
Your mother's been doing this for a long time, then?
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
Can anyone become a shape changer?
Anyone with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell, and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
I'd never heard of magic like that. Oh, do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do the other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
Never heard of magic like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
Is that... isn't... Is that sort of magic open to abuse?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
That's what I want to ask.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
Maybe tied to a flagpole and tickled.
I wouldn't advise it. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
Worth it.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Can you teach others to become shape changers?
I cannot teach you, no. But any other mages that cared to learn, yes, I could do that. Send whoever you wish my way, and I shall teach them what I can in the camp, provided they possess the will to even make the attempt. What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokiri Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can... I'm curious, what's wrong with that?
Any number of cats could inform you of the answer to that question, but have it your way. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time, I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
And you remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Were you hurt?
Was I hurt? What manner of simpering weakling do you take me for? Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan.
Oops.
He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
Touching? Like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
You can go back if you like.
I have no qualm with the mission I have been set to. Flemeth was correct, like it or not. The Darkspawn are an enemy of all. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Okay, just making sure my control is good.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
You are very cute to ask so many questions.
And you're cute when you're evasive.
Really? Perhaps we should be wrapped in ribbons and adorned with flowers. So cute are we, too. My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
Fun? You found it fun?
I found the game fun. I was too young to understand the truth behind what was
Oh,
happening.
okay.
Flemeth would warn them once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used to as bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
What exactly is an apostate?
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
If I were a mage, I might think the same.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Looking good with Morgan. Ooh, I'll take that.
What do you wish of me? If you must.
Is Flemeth really what she seems to be?
Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be?
A nutty old bat.
Sometimes I do wonder the very same thing. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience.
I'm more interested in the truth.
I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself, and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire.
That sounds interesting.
As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful. a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her.
Not true then?
No, quite true, but this part only. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conabar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conabar the jealous lord, who looked on from afar. Lord Conabar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed.
Oh, Flemeth must have been angry.
The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conabar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge.
You spoke to spirits or demons?
Spirits first, and 'twas they who slew Conabar. Flemeth did not turn to the demon until much later. Lord Conabar's allies chased Flemeth, you see. Chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies.
Even my people have heard of Cormac.
The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began.
Do you believe her version?
I do not believe everything that Flemeth claims. Oft it seems her bitterness has coloured her memories. But on the whole, yes, I believe this tale, if not all.
How is that Flemeth have survived for so long?
The demon within her has transformed her into something else. An abomination, perhaps some would say. I know not.
In
I only
hindsight,
know
it's
my
not
mother
a
is
demon nor
clever,
a spirit.
and she is part of the wilds as it is part of her. But she is no immortal. She bleeds. A blade in her heart would kill her like any other, were it lucky enough to find her.
The legend tells of Flemeth having many daughters.
You ask if I have sisters. I have asked of this myself. The stories tell of many witches of the wilds after all, not just the one. And these tales existed long before I did. Flemeth refuses to speak of other daughters, if they existed. So, should I believe I am her first? I doubt that too.
Okay. Hey, just letting everyone know, is the connection doing alright, by the way? There we go. It sounded like gotten pretty bad there. It should be fine now. Hang on a sec. I don't know why that's doing that. Yeah, everything looks fine. Anyway. Why would she refuse to speak with them?
The Chastened tell of a falling out between Flemeth and her daughters. They say that one day she hunted them all through the wilds and ate their hearts. It may be true. I have never seen another witch or heard of one. Perhaps one day Flemeth will eat my heart as well.
Aren't abominations usually insane horrors?
How often is this usually? Always? If not always, then when is it not true? There are more things in this world and the next than you or I could ever hope to understand. What Flemeth became is a mystery. I suspect even to her.
An interesting story. Thank you.
Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but You are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless.
My mother died when I was born.
Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on.
Score.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Never mind.
What do you wish of me?
I like to ask something in person.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Never mind. Don't want to be a dick. It would love actually. That's mind, me being a dick. Barkspawn, what were you barking at?
Oh, why, you little...
What?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he is a war dog.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me. I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh. Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Don't scare a Barkspawn like that. Enough of you another human being.
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Look at what your fool dog placed in my pack. A putrid, half-eaten hare is not something a woman wants to find in her unmentionables.
Oh! There we go. Hey there! Hey there, Grant. RP Grant me. Nice name. Hey there. Well, it's fine. It's fine. It's just a new thing. It's just a new thing. Don't worry about it. Pretty good. Well, actually, it could be better. It could be better, but better now than like a few hours ago. Why doesn't he share his food with me?
You are welcome to this if you really want it. The dirty mongrel can have this back. There.
So yeah,
And tell him not to do it again.
Dragon Age. You heard the late. Sorry.
I don't want it, you worthless fur bag.
I think you hurt his feelings.
Oh, he's just trying to be manipulative, I can tell.
Oh.
I do it too.
Oh, nice. What book is it?
You are a true warrior and worthy of respect.
Oh, that's interesting. Trying to find you a way through the earth, are we? It's going to take some time, you know. Well, we'll go like that then. Pet the doggo. I'll talk to these two for.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service.
I wonder how a
Once again,
vampire would.
I saw your camp and thought to myself,
I wonder how a
What safer
vampire would
place
work.
to rest for
Yeah,
the evening
puppy!
than the camp of a Grey Wolf?
I named him a Bark
I'm
Spawn.
perfectly
You know,
willing to
after
offer
the
you
Dark
a
Spawn, the
fine
antagonistic
discount for the
forces
inconvenience
that's
of
in
our presence.
in
How
this
does
game.
that sound? Good? Yes?
Got it. Just like give me a second because my controller is on low battery at the worst possible time. What are you selling exactly?
Anything, everything, but all of the finest quality. No cheap
Dragonite.
trinkets here. And my boy Sandal happens to be a bit of a hand with enchantments. Oh, yes. Sadly, it also makes us a target for bandits and the like. If there were spare hands to hire as guards, I would have done so long ago.
Have you been following us?
I can see why you might be suspicious, being a Grey Warden and all. Were I in your shoes, I would feel the same way. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
You're free to say. Just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me. You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road.
Let me see your wares.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected. And with your discount.
Discount! Fuck! Those things are fucking expensive. Okay, Stan doesn't need it. Alistair might need it. It's good to see you again. It's good to see you again. Just, it's nice to see people stopping by. It kind of actually lifted my spirits, you know. Yeah. Oh, also, Mr. Stark is here, by the way, and I really should move the map. Should move my camera out of the way because it's covering. It's like. I don't know where I should put it. Right here? I don't know. Over here for now? Yeah, let's put it over there. There we go. So it's not away at the minimap. I'll move it once I set up the game. I set up that's like stuff like Destiny 2 or something. I don't know.
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him a... what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
I want to enchant me something done.
Enchantment!
I'm gonna do that again.
Enchantment? Enchantment! Enchantment? Enchantment!
Are you sure I can't interest you in this hat? A pair of earrings, perhaps? A cheese knife?
Have you heard any rumors?
Habron, daughter of the Earl of Southreach, has spent an exorbitant amount of her father's coin buying puppies. No one knows what happens to the puppies, and she buys a new one every week. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Heard any other rumors?
There's talk that King Kaelin was cheating on the Queen and she found out about it. That's why Tyrn Loghain abandoned Kaelin at Ostagar. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. The crafters of the Pearl Brothel are threatening to close their doors if they aren't finally recognized as a true guild. Ha! Can you imagine? As if the men weren't blue enough. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Any other rumors?
Oral Urian wasn't truly killed at Ostagar. His son, Lord Von, hired
Yeah, some of these
Antigon
rumors sounds like
crows to
conspiracy
kill
theories.
his father before he ever reached the battlefield, only to first be killed by a mob of elves himself. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
So what's your story exactly?
I suppose since you told me about you being a Grey Warden, it's only fitting for me to be as open. I am originally from Orzammar, the famed dwarven city that lies beneath the stately Frostback Mountains. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
Why, Lost Glory?
Our kingdoms once spanned the length of Thados, from majestic Orzammar to Kal Sharok to glittering Darmalin far to the west. They say the gold and silver veins ran so thick through the stone of Darmalin that the entire city sparkled. The Darkspawn took it all, of course. One by one, the old Tigers fell, and then all that was left was Orzammar. But we were talking about how I ended up here, weren't we? One day, a noble woman came to my stall. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
Did you steal them?
Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me. The lost tigers, they're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure, something worth a little gold.
Isn't that silly?
To the nobles it is. They believe everything in the Tigers belongs to the house that once dwelled there, even if it's in ruins and they haven't seen it in generations. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
And now here you are.
Yes, here I am. Now, is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Well, where do these goods come from? Not the deep road.
Look,
deep roads.
We don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Lost Tigers, what good did they do lying there? I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
What do you mean?
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. Is that so bad? They destroy everything they touch.
The Blight will not last forever.
No, of course not. And when it ends, I will go back to finding ruins, or move on. I don't really have much of a choice.
You didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here, I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. He may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
That was generous of you.
It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
I should go.
Of course. Good fortune to you and yours.
Goodbye.
I really should have prepared the layout ahead of time. Oh well.
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins, Levy the trader.
You know Duncan?
Oh yes, for years. Considered him a friend, I did. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
How do you know Duncan?
It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden. Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
What problems? Go ahead and tell your tale.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tan Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch and he let them in.
Go on and listening.
So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the King. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest day of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age and struck up a friendship. The King himself went with the Wardens on their
Pass the check.
mysterious
Thank you.
business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardland's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good.
Why were the Grey Wardens counseled by Arlen?
People say it's because the Wardens have become terribly unpopular. Just soaking up tires and not doing a bleeding thing for the kingdom. I say that's bollocks, as recent events have shown.
Marek rescinded the decree, just like that?
Marek was a bit of a visionary. A powerful mind, that one. In his travels with the Wardens, he must have seen how important their cause was, and been moved by it.
I doubt that's the full story.
There was some talk at court that he did it to improve relations with Orzammar. That might have factored into it, but make no mistake. King Marek was a giant among men.
I thank you for your pardon bringing the Wardens here.
Oh, my stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome.
What promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden Commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the Wardens and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
That's a bit drastic, isn't it?
And then some. Not much is known about that time. After King Arland died, there was a civil war. Loads
Yeah,
worse
at least
than
I'm in
this
a comfy chair,
and
you know.
our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
I'm surprised you kept your name.
Our family's only crime was guarding the kingdom against the blight. We're not ashamed of that.
So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
I never heard of a soldier speak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's
ne-
Peak since
never heard of
Arland's
it.
days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
Why didn't Duncan help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new wardens and meeting with good
Yeah,
king
especially the
kings.
ones that are
Duncan
like
said he would help after the battle of
like they aren't
Ostergar.
expensive, you know?
Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
How would we reclaim the peak help the wardens?
Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
What do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it at least?
Your family's faithfully rewarded. I will help you.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
So, we got a DLC quest that I paid money for. We should head out, I guess? Question mark. Okay. Okay, that got me good. That got me pretty good.
If there's any...
But first I need to sell some stuff. Oh, these are way too expensive for my liking, but... Hey, you never know when I get my ass whooped in combat. Oh yeah. Like back during the summer, and seems like during this winter, I seem to have like connection issues. I don't know why. The weather, like the seasons, affect my connection. I had my stepdad look into this. I think he did, but couldn't get much. I don't know. Why? It's Christmas. It's Christmas around the corner. That's what. Yeah, Christmas around the corner.
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay, wasn't expecting that.
Yes?
Nothing.
Blast and damnation.
Yes.
Indeed.
Indeed.
What is going on? Hang on, I better make a save for this just in case. That is so weird. Let me reload and try this again. That is so weird. Oh! I need to... Yeah, let's go to dinner. Why not? So I needed... No idea where
This should be easy enough.
don't know why I did that.
Yes? Well, here.
What do you need? Ask away,
I mean, about the Great Wardens.
such as they are.
No.
What do you need?
What game exactly? Baldur's Gate? The game, the series Dragon Age, starts out as a spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate. I also thinking of Neverwinter Nights as well.
Yes.
Indeed.
Oh, you.
Yes.
Right, let's just take a look around. Yeah. Never thought my character would be back here, or at least from his perspective.
They also say that washing your feet in winter makes you catch cold in the head, but we all know that is not true. But sometimes they are right. And they are right in this.
You know the stories about...
Of course. You think my mother would let me go without telling
I
me
shall.
all the stories of her youth?
My mother told me stories too. She was the one who kindled my love of the old tales and legends.
My mother's stories curdled my blood and haunted my dreams. No little girl wants to hear about the wilder men her mother took to her bed, using them till they were spent, then killing them. No little girl wants to be told that this is also expected of her once she comes of age.
I see.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Christ. Oh,
Good day.
oh Christ almighty.
As there is but one world, one life, one death, there is but one God, and He is our Maker. They are sinners who have given their love to false gods.
What? No mention of dessert? Surely this is a miracle.
The one who repents, who has faith unshaken by the darkness of the world, and roasts not, nor gloats over the misfortunes of the weak, but takes delight in the Maker's law and creations.
Boasts.
Really?
It's boasts, sister, not roasts.
She shall know the peace of the
Roast.
Maker's benediction. The light
Please.
shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next.
Peace, sister, peace. She
I thought it was
shall know the
please, not peace.
Of the Maker's benediction.
The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker
Chip
shall be
oats.
her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her...
There's no veal in the chant. You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
I like our version of the chant better.
Oh, hello, dear. Can we help you?
What she means is, in Andraste's name, be welcome.
Stop correcting me. Andraste do?
That's
what
the
you
kind
should
of
be
humor I would like to
concerned with.
see.
I say Andraste was no fuss budget.
What are you doing?
Praying for the good people of Denerim who've lost loved ones at Ostagar. It's usual to recite a stanza from Transfigurations when you pray for the departed.
It's usual to recite the stanza correctly.
But that's what I said.
I don't remember the chant having any passages about bacon.
Andraste, deliver us. If her grace were to hear this...
I wouldn't mess up the words if you wouldn't keep interrupting me. Grand Cleric Eleanor understands the importance of concentration, you know.
Her grace...
Yeah, that's a BioWare game.
Lost her
The snark
hearing
is
20 years
expected.
ago. If she doesn't catch your blasphemous mistakes, it's because she didn't hear them.
Can you tell me about the chant?
Tell you about the chant? What? As if it's a cake you might buy? Well, it's done enough, but a little too much nutmeg for my taste.
Sister, instructing the ignorant is a sacred duty of the chantry.
Fine, then. What do you want to know?
What was the verse that you were starting just now?
It's the 10th stanza from the Transfigurations. Lovely canticle, that one. Oh, you should have heard Brother Caedmon sing it, though.
He's any well, I take it.
He had a voice like a bucket full of toads. Revered Mother Boanne, bless her heart, always said, if we had more voices like his, the Maker couldn't fail to take note of us.
What happened to him?
It was tragic, really. Such a surprise.
We don't speak of that.
He died?
He was in charge of the lyrium storehouse. It wasn't good for him, you see. He took off all his clothes in the middle of the chant one summer day and ran into the street. He tripped and fell into the vat of elderberry wine for the feast and drowned. We were 6 days drying him out for his cremation. He looked like a pickled egg. So tragic.
What does the chant say about Darkspawn?
Oh, there are some very stirring canticles about doom and wrath.
Darkspawn were created by mankind's second sin, pride. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. To satisfy its hunger, the mage lords assaulted the Golden City, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves.
Why does no one ever sing the good stanzas during chantry services anymore? They speak them. It's called the chant of light, not the speech of light.
Sister, would you kindly stop messing up
Is she?
the chant?
Yeah, she's probably doing this
See
on
how
purpose.
you like being interrupted?
Well, you get the general idea, I'm sure.
Does the chant mention elves?
Yes and no, dear.
The official version of the chant does not speak of the elves. Some of the dissonant verses, however, do mention the disciple Shartan.
There's more than one version of the chant?
Of course. The official chant of light is written in Tevinter, but it is translated into the languages of the believers. Some ideas are lost in the process of translation, and words take on unintended meanings. There's a dreadful pun in the Orlesian version in the Canticle of Threnodies, and languages are always changing. The chant must adapt if it is to be understood by the people hearing it.
Who was Shartan?
He was an elven disciple of the prophet. A former slave like Andraste herself, he rallied his people against the Imperium. He was given to the flames alongside Our Lady.
Why weren't this verses in the first part of the chant?
Divine Renata had the verses removed during the Exalted March on the Dales.
Why were the dissonant verses?
The chant has changed over time. Some of the verses that were sung in the past were taken out. The Canticles of Shartan was stricken from the chant in the Glory Age. They are no longer sung, though scholars still sometimes read them.
Never mind.
It is almost mealtime, isn't it?
Blessings of the Maker and of Andraste, his bride, upon you.
Quests!
The deep dark.
Okay.
Before dawn's first light seems it.
In the name of Andraste, bride of the Maker, be welcome in this house. While the cathedral is closed, if you need to make wedding or funeral arrangements, you'll have to talk to Sister Olma.
Did someone die?
Oh my god, another
King Kalen
elder
died, remember?
member of the
Along with
chant.
most of the army at
These
Ostagar?
ones are Templars.
Maker guide them all.
Why is the cathedral closed?
That which you fear. Living
Yeah,
in
the
shadow
armor potions and the
I've
guard bless are
seen
smaller
it
in
is only
later
a
games.
cloud passing before the sun.
The death toll at Ostagar was staggering. We've had a funeral every day for a lost son or daughter of Denerim, and we've many more yet to hold.
What is wrong with your friend?
Are they singing the chant now? It's a funeral, isn't it?
He should have retired to Valroyo years ago, but he wanted to stay and serve the remainder of his days in his homeland. It's the lyrium that does this.
Raise your arms and puncture your ears. Are you into this to him? Why doesn't he stop taking it?
He wouldn't be a Templar anymore.
Blessed are they who stand before the corrupt and the wicked and do not falter.
He doesn't forget who he is, even if he can't remember anything else.
Oh, come back later.
May the light of the Maker guide your steps.
Skin deep. Okay. Let's try some stuff at Denver first.
A maker's hand.
Interim. Dirty Pack Alley. It's a weird stylistic choice, I admit. This game came out in 2009. It's part of the times. Leolana? Please do not draw your...
I'll do it.
I'm sorry. Oh!
Yes?
Okay, my ass whooped!
I'm badly injured.
Oh shit! Jesus, that was too close! Jesus Christ, why did I put this on high difficulty?
Cross me and you shall pay!
As you wish.
An order. Ready!
On.
Make us breath!
Oh,
Have a battle, I see.
I go. Here we go. I need healing.
what you need is more armor! Oh shit!
You forced our hand.
Oh my god, that was too close. Too close, too close, too close. Taking cover.
Make a preserver. No mercy.
Shit, there are more!
Good to
Fucking
know.
archers!
Here comes trouble.
Time for a little cleanup.
Good day.
Okay, you're saying that after seeing me slaughter those thugs? Okay. Jesus, that was a lot of potions. Oh, hey, I got some potions back. Nice. Money. I'm gonna make a living in my killing planos. That's nice.
I am unable to do that.
Sorry. No, I didn't think so.
Final Fantasy 16. No, Final Fantasy 12. Final Fantasy 12. Am I thinking, 16? 16 isn't even out yet. Yeah, not the graphic style, but the gameplay style of, like, okay, and the way that my character, like, runs out with his sword and shield out, it's just, like, it's goofy. Shit! Random encounter. Controller. Oh my god, the controller. Oh, I picked a bad time. Oh, my controller. Oh. I feel dumb. I thought a couple minutes of charging would do the trick, but apparently not. It's for too much of a battery, see? Apparently I forgot to charge it each time I use it. Oh, I'm gonna give you a shout out, by the way. How'd I do a shout out like a shout out to, like it sends to your channel? Just wondering, and let's see. Okay, I see. Oh Jesus! Oh, Trap barely avoided. Holy shit! I should have seen this coming. Okay, I see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dudes.
I go.
Yes.
Victory shall be mine.
Please. Oh Jesus! Oh. Okay, let me try that. Let me try that. There we go. Jesus!
This should be easy enough.
Maker's breath.
Those are a lot of dudes!
Shall be as you say. They'll never know what hit him.
That says more about you than them, you know.
It's done.
Weapons at the ready. Let's get started. Look at this mess. I love it.
Shit.
Run while you can.
I need healing. The enemy draws blood. Armed and ready for action.
Now we get our hands dirty.
Shit.
On. As you wish.
How are you two doing?
Like bandages. You want?
Yeah, it's just, it's, eh. Eh. Sorry, I'm just like, I'm a little...
What now?
Oh, hey, there's a chest. Money and, materials, I guess?
Can't do that. No, I don't think so.
God damn it. Okay, let's move on. I should save here. Because I have a bad feeling about this.
I am unable to do that.
Oh, I like this dance.
Enemies approaching. Ones that killed Roz. Get him!
As you like.
It is done.
Be careful! Yes.
Yes? Armed and dangerous, ready for action.
Oh. Oh my god.
Sometimes.
As you wish.
I'm hurt. I need help. Ready.
Jesus.
That's finished.
Let's try this again. I think.
All set. Got it.
There we go. Just how I like it.
I said something's wrong.
Killed
here.
Roz. Get him!
Nope, not what I meant.
Right.
You should run while you can. Let's make this quick.
As you wish. Let's get started. Fear is your weakness.
Very well.
Jesus. Oh. Oh, not what I meant. You know what? It's not like it's going to make much of a difference.
I said something's wrong.
killed
Right,
Roz.
might be wrapping this up myself.
Fear is your weakness. A little friend.
Oh, Jesus.
I can see why.
Yeah, thank you for stopping by, Snarky.
Get started.
Be careful!
Now you die. On.
Oh, nice. I got more healing.
What now?
What now?
Okay, anything,
I'm sure you have your own business to attend to.
Please don't let it be another random encounter. Or I had enough of that bullshit. Alright, I'm just gonna plug in my controller for now.
As there is but one world, one life.
The deep dark before dawn's
One
first
God,
light seems
and he
eternal.
is our maker.
But know that the
Or more left. The Gentress board, okay.
They
sun
are
always
sinners
rises.
who have given.
Well, might as well, like, wrap this up for today. Anyway, yeah, I didn't really talk much, sorry about that. But anyway, thank you all for watching. And thank you for Mr. Snarky for stopping by. Thank you, RP Granny, for also stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube, and don't forget to leave behind a different subscription on Twitch. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch. So anyway, have a good night. Bye. Guys hands.